What's going on, everyone? I'm your host, the Carolina Collector. I'm finding great difficulty recording this video. This is probably my 10th attempt to do so. It's approximately 5:15 in the morning, April 30th, 2025. Forgive the noise in the background. I got the dishwasher running. I wanted to say thank you for your time and your patience. I did not want this channel to go in this direction, but unfortunately there's too many things going on behind the scenes that I hope you can all forgive me for. A lot has happened, and I anticipate more will happen. As I got a message from a family member last night that my father is very ill, and there are some things I want to add to the video I uploaded last night. And I will say this, that the depression that I'm going through right now is I've suffered through depression for most of my adult life. But recent events have exacerbated that to a point where I'm taking medications again. There are 2 of them I'm taking. But since Monday afternoon, since I was dragged into a courtroom for no reason at all, that my ex-girlfriend, all she had to do was just sit down and talk with me. And the things that she said, I still can't believe she said what she said. I committed no crimes. I broke no laws. I never hurt that woman. All I did was try to. I blurted it out right in the courtroom. You know, I cooked for that woman. I bought her clothes. I bought her, her feminine hygiene goods. I bought her shampoos and conditioners. I gave her a bed to sleep in. She was in my home 2 to 3 times a week sometimes. I treated that woman like she was a goddess. And if there was something that I did wrong, all she had to do was just talk. And instead she chose this. And now I got this news about my father last night. Last night, 2 of my neighbors came over to check up on me, and I really have to thank everybody who's been by my side through all of this, my close friends, my neighbors, even some of you that have been responding to some of these videos. One of my neighbors brought over this little bottle of Fireball that I mixed up with ginger ale and ice just to cut it a little bit. I have a bit of a mental block when it comes to booze. I'm really not a booze drinker any longer, but I allowed myself to break my fast because I was in good company, and I think I earned that right to do so. But since I got home from the courthouse on Monday afternoon, I will tell you that I have climbed up on the wagon again. May 7th, I have an appointment with my psych to talk about these issues. I can tell you I am not handling them well, because not only did this woman smash my heart to bits, because I genuinely and truly love this woman. I tried to take care of her. I was even saving up for an engagement ring for this woman. But now that I've got this news about my father, it just makes things even worse, Because just like what happened on Monday, I'm helpless to do anything. There's nothing I can do. And I do have a bit of an addendum to add to that video I uploaded last night. I was obviously a little over the top, of drinking, and I hope you guys can forgive me for that, I was named after my grandfather. which is a huge honor for me to have his name because he served this country proudly during World War II, and I come from German descent, and he served this country to go after the Nazis. But the correction that I need to make, and if I can remember the circumstances correctly, when he came home over a certain amount of time, and I don't remember the time frame off the top of my head, I would have to read the newspaper article that I have it someplace on my computer, a screenshot of it, where my grandfather unfortunately was killed in a freak accident as he was out in the woods hunting, I believe, and a gun accidentally discharged into him and lost his life. And my father was a very little boy when that happened, so my father never had his father in his life from that point on. And as a result, my old man, was basically just winging it, and I'm very proud of my father. I mean, going through the life experiences that I have gone through, it's not all that different than what he suffered. So, but I received a message on WhatsApp from one of the members of my family. I'm not going to say who. But, I always knew that my father was very sick. The last time I talked to my father was before the holidays. I haven't heard from him since. And I tried calling over the past several weeks. I never got an answer. I left him a message telling him about this current situation I find myself in. And then while I had my neighbors up here, I get this message from a family member telling me about my father. And I get this photo of him. And the only way I can describe this photo, and I will not show this photo to the public. I've been sworn to keep this to myself. But the only way I can describe him, the photo I saw was, you look like a skeleton. And the reason for that is because he's got the big C. He's got cancer. So, specifically bladder cancer. And there's a good possibility that this cancer has spread. And I'm waiting to see what kind of information I'm going to get coming from New York, but based on some of the things that I was sent, it's not looking too good. And this is the time where I needed somebody to stand by my side. And the person that I hoped would be by my side has now betrayed me to such a point that I've got to muddle through this on my own. But again, I'm fortunate that I got the friends and neighbors that I do here, behind the camera, behind the scenes. I know drinking isn't exactly the best solution to a problem, but I'm fortunate enough that I do have the resources where I am, taking steps to at least try to talk to somebody, because this is too much anymore. It's too much. I thought I went through enough in my life. And some people are just made to suffer. I'm looking at this work table in front of me. I'm looking at this whole camera rig. All of these material possessions here on my desk. I talked about things like this. None of it really matters much. This is supposed to be my next review right here. I'm still wearing it. I fell asleep in it. I slept for maybe like 3 hours, 4 hours last night. Couldn't sleep. Rolling around in bed, getting up, going to the bathroom. All this material possession is for nothing. Doesn't mean anything. They're things. You know, we as human beings take so much for granted when it comes to people. That's why I can't stand the political atmosphere, because now everything is politics, 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 politics. You know, deep down, I understand why people engage in their behaviors like the way they do, why they choose these weird behaviors they get themselves into, because the world is fucked up, man. Me, I'm just a toy collector, a jersey collector, I'm a sports fan. And we all need to lose ourselves in things and hobbies and distractions. But, you know, when life all of a sudden becomes too overwhelming, all of this stuff seems meaningless, you know? And now I'm worried about the future of my father. I mean, all of us at some point in our life are going to get to that point where, you know, we have to face our mortality. And that's just the reality of our existence, you know, as human beings. Nothing is forever. Especially us. The only thing I can ask the only thing I can ask from any of you is just your thoughts and your prayers for him. Forget me. Pray for him. It's the pain and suffering he's going through, especially after this photo I was sent. He looks like a skeleton. Just pray for his health and well-being. I honestly, at this point, don't know what else to say. I've been telling myself maybe I should walk away from this YouTube channel. Maybe I should just give up with the card collecting and give up these hobbies and just walk away from everything. I don't know how many times a person can reach that fork in the road. Well, every single time I've come across a fork in the road, those decisions have always been the toughest to make. And after everything that's happened with me here since I left New York over the past 8 years, I'm now forced to make a decision. Is it worth staying here anymore? Is it time to leave? Is it time to move? And now hearing what my father is currently experiencing, and again, when I saw that photo, one man can only go through so much before he snaps. And God knows, with all the negativity that I've experienced throughout my personal life up until I moved down here, and then all the things that have happened since I have moved to North Carolina, getting jumped, being a victim of assault twice, 3 times, people calling the FBI on me because they disagree with my politics, false claims, slander. Now with this woman breaking my heart the way she did, and now I have to deal with my father's sickness. It's a lot. Of course, you're going to have your assholes that are out there that are going to say, yeah, He's just a bleeding heart. He's a professional victim. He's this, he's that. I just don't care. They're not living my life. They haven't lived my life. You know, again, I hope you can all forgive me as to how the tone of this channel changed. I really, really wanted this channel to be fun. I wanted it to be fun. I wanted something for me to escape into. I just want to talk about baseball cards and jerseys. I'm actually wearing one of the jerseys that I wanted to review for all you guys. This was going to be my next review. And I just got some more stuff for the channel. Some more upgrades and things for some of my Transformers. I'm not exactly sure what the future holds right now, but I can tell you this, that I'm definitely hurting, man. There's too much coming my way than ever before. Not only did the woman I loved and cared about hurt me and break my heart, now I have to worry that my father I can't even get the words out of my mouth. This happened last night. Like I said, it's inevitable. We're human beings. Nothing lasts forever, right? Thank you, all of you, for your patience and your time. Pray for him. If there is a God. I got the crucifix. I took it off my wall. I was ready to break this. Even though I wear Germanic or Viking symbology in the form of Mjolnir, believing in a deity is believing in a deity, right? But the things that I've experienced, it makes me question, is there actually a God? No God could or would be this cruel to allow something like this to happen. And I'm sure some religious person out there is going to say, well, it's God's will. Well, I didn't ask to have my heart broken. I didn't ask to get this news. I didn't ask to see what I saw in this photo. All the stuff that's going on out there. I appreciate your continued support, everybody. Just pray for his health. That's all I can ask of any of you. And again, the only thing I can do is just sit and wait. That's the reality of this. And as far as having my heart smashed to bits, I have to be forced to live with that now. And all this woman had to do is just sit across the table from me and talk to me and fix things. And people can't even do that anymore. Everybody just jumps to conclusions, making exaggerated claims. Jesus, almost 5:45. I'm ready to crack open a beer. I know it's a very defeatist attitude to have, That's how I feel. I am not happy at all. So again, I'm sorry for I'm sorry for I'm sorry for all of this. This is not what I wanted for this channel. Anyway, I'll update all of you when I can. And that's pretty much all I got to say. Pray for my father's health. That's all I can ask any of you for. Take care, everybody.